Well, alright everybody, today will be calligraphy printing, which is basically just you get your canvas or your matrix. In this case, I'm just using a cardboard, and I just went on to gluing, for example, little leaves and then pine tree leaves. I guess this is what it's called really. And I went on to making dents all over here. I put some leaves here and some glue, well, hot glue, right? Because for calligraphy printing, you basically don't want it, like, you want something a little bit bumpy. So when you put it, like for example, as you can see here, because you want all that texture to basically show when you put it on the press, which I'll be showing you as well how to use. Oh, I also used, like for example here, the clouds. I used some plastic bags. I just crumpled them and glued them. And other examples that I have of that will have to be through over here. Oh, excuse me. Alright. For example, here you can see how they carved out in their cardboard, or they glued some wood onto them. Here's some where they just put little leaves as well, some little branches. So yeah, as you can see, here are some more examples. Here they use some netting and stuff. Here's that, and that's pretty much it. Alright, and as such, well, when you're done like applying all your stuff, gluing it down to your matrix, you will basically, preferably you would coated with like Mod Podge or glue or something, just like a thin layer, so just so that your ink doesn't absorb it or anything. So yeah, and then after that, I would recommend, in this case, as you can already see here, I was adding some acrylic paint just so I can see like how I'm gonna lay out the ink and stuff. And then after adding it, I would, like for example, wipe some stuff to give it gradient and texture and stuff like that, besides the already texture in the matrix. But one thing like I want to make clear is, like for example here you can see on my pencil stuff, when you put it on the press and you print it, well, it's obviously not going to show. So if you really want something to show out, well, you're going to have to like put things around it, or if you want it to like show. In this case, I just left it like that. I just put some hot glue in some parts, and I'll define it more when I put the ink, and I'll wipe away and stuff like that to show what I want to show. Alright, so yeah, I'll cut the clip just because I don't have like a stand or anything, but I'll show you right now that I fully covered it with, in this case, my acrylic paint. Alright, as seen, we already fully covered our matrix or our canvas thing. And basically, well, maybe I do need another layer, but basically covering it all in one solid color will kind of give you like a heads up of what you're gonna see, at least in the press, in my opinion. As you can see, for this dog, for example, you're just gonna see the silhouette as I plan and stuff. And yeah. Now, another thing we're gonna do right now, for this is a crucial part when you're gonna put it in the press. And for that, you're gonna need another piece of paper. I'll be using this little one. And let me show you over here. I have an example of it. It's basically just a little chart for when we do multiple prints. It's just so it falls like the print exactly how it's supposed to be. As you can see, this one right here, this is where our matrix or canvas is gonna be. And then this other one is where we're gonna put our paper we're gonna print it on, like that. And like it's not crooked or anything. As you can see, it like falls directly where it's supposed to every time that you print it. All right, I know this is not the best angle, but this is what I got right now. I found a tube of paint, and that's what we're gonna use. So ideally for your print, you usually do like a 1 inch like diameter thing, just so when you print it, just so like when you print it, it looks nice. But in this occasion, as you can see in my matrix, I have some things pointing out, so I might go for like maybe like a 2 inches, just so it has like a nice rim around it. like right there, maybe like a 3 or something. Yeah, I'll go with just like a 2-inch counting from here, like that. I have it like, oh, it's blurry. Yeah, 2 inches from here, just so it looks like, oh, stop it. Just so it looks nice and clean all around it. So yeah, let me cut that and I'll do it right now. Oh wait, before that, I'll first trace it over, like over my whole thing, just so I know where to place this, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, as you can see here, I already have planned out my drafts, or my draft center, so to see where this falls in, like that. In every print that we do, it falls exactly where it's supposed to be. You just need to align it, and it should fall right there every time. Now, something I do recommend after doing mine is to maybe stay within the matrix or your canvas, because you're gonna struggle when doing the rim around. And then of course, if maybe get like your paper, like you might need to cut it to size or not. I cut mine to size. I didn't have paper this, well, I had a bigger paper but not this size, so I had to cut it down. And I also recommend watercolor paper, because we're going to use watercolor ink for this type of printing, and you'll see in a moment why when I show you when we're adding the ink. Alright, now that I have everything set up, we're going to use our watercolor inks. In this case, I'm using these. Now you may want to get a little spatula just to scoop out the paint. I'll be using one of these, and I'll be using paper towels, but ideally I recommend a little cloth. It could be anything, an old t-shirt or whatever you have in hand, really. We're gonna start off by getting your ink out. Oh my god, this one doesn't have ink. Here we go. And we're gonna put it on. Now I like to just put it on, and then right now I'll rub it. Well, we're gonna have to rub it in, right? Or because you can't really like smush it around with this one because there's a lot of texture in there. But yeah, just dab it on. Now in this occasion, I would have done multiple colors, but first I want to see how it comes out, so I'll just be using one solid color, and then I'll switch it up. Now since it is watercolor, right, it might dry out faster, but you don't really have to worry about that, really, since in our paper that we're going to add on top of it, we're going to spray with water. So it'll reactivate the ink, and you'll be able to use it. Well, we'll be able to like print onto the thing. As you can see, there we go. I'll cut the footage right now here, and I'll show you when I've finished covering the whole thing. And then as you can see here, I finally covered everything in ink. Now, like it is ink and this kind of dries off, you're gonna want to make sure that your fingerprints don't stay on like the smooth parts that you have and stuff, because it will show when you put it on the press. So you want to make sure everything's nice and smooth out. Oh my bad. And then afterwards, if for example here I was gonna add a gradient to like show each individual like feather or leaf in this case. However, as you can see, due to like me stacking them up, it kind of made an outline for themselves. So I think I'll just leave it like that. And then over here, I'll work on trying to define out this dog over here, because maybe I added too much ink, but it is textured, so it should show. But I'm still just gonna rub a little bit of the ink off. Let me see if it shows. If I go like that a little bit, it's a little bit lighter. Well, I don't think the camera really catches it, or a little bit. So I'll just keep doing that, and I'll be ready to put on the press, and I'll show you. Alright, now that we're done putting all the ink here, now we're gonna move on back to our paper, our main canvas for this part. So here's our paper, and since that's watercolor ink and some of it kind of dried off at this point, we're gonna use a spray bottle, just plain water. You don't need to soak the paper, just a little bit, as shown here. And we're gonna get, well, if you have a cloth, it's better off, but right now I only have this tissue paper, and I'm gonna wipe some of the water if I put too much water on it. Let me put this down. Oh, can you see? Probably not that good. Oh, and also, since we just work with ink, our hands might be like a little dirty and stuff. I would recommend little paper taps just so your canvas doesn't get dirty. And with it, you just grab it and move it how you need to move it. All right. And then you just wipe a little bit on it. In this case, mine's missing water. Might as well add a little bit more. There we go. Just a little spray. It's a little too damp again, so just a little lighter. Not as hard as I was doing earlier. And with your paper tab, well, we're gonna leave that one right now. We're gonna first get our thing. We're gonna grab it with our tab, and we're gonna move it onto the press to here, and we're gonna align it. So yeah, let me this a little better. There we go. That's much better ish. Oh, there we go. So here, oh, don't touch it with your bare hand, so you're gonna get ink over your other one. And now, I'm sorry, well, I'm covering it, but I'm not really doing anything else besides just adjusting it to where it's supposed to be. There we go. Here, you can see that. And now we're gonna move back over here, and I'm gonna carry the paper over to the over here, which I'm just gonna leave you guys here so properly, and like that I don't mess up as well. All right, I'll leave you there. I'll go on and replace these little paper tabs. I'll be right back. The side that's wet, that's gonna be the part that goes in front. Well, not to like facing our paper. So you're gonna line it as much as you can. And if you're doing the first time, well, it's okay. We always reprint twice or as many times as we need for it to go on properly. So now after that, we're gonna just press it in. Now, my hands are dirty, but I don't really care because this is the back of it. So the print won't show here, obviously. So I'm just gonna press down on it. Just to make sure it doesn't move. And I'm gonna get another paper just to put it on top. There we go. And after that, usually when you use our press, you usually have like these little blankets here. They have a little weight to them, and we're basically just gonna put them on top. And this will make sure your paper doesn't move. I'm gonna go get the other ones because they're not here. All right, I got the other blankets. We're just gonna put them on top, just like this, to create some weight so our paper doesn't move while we print it. There we go. Nice, pat it down. Now, as far as for these, oh wait, that's the wrong one. Okay, over here, as you can see, we have these, which these are just to move this at the bottom. Now, as you can see, if I go this way, it lifts up the paint, and then if you move it down, it goes down and we create pressure. And it's basically just that. Well, at least for this type of press, it's pretty simple. It just has this one and it has that one over there, and you just move it up and down. Now I'm gonna check right now if it's adjusted right or if it needs a little bit up just so this can go in, but not too up for it to not give pressure to this. All right, let me just set up differently because you're set up on the table, and if I leave you here, you're gonna get squished. And as shown, well, we just go on and move this like this. And let's see. Yeah, we're gonna have to adjust it again just because it's not put on correct. Alright, so as you can see, I'll just move one at a time. I'll just move it more down. As you can see here, the light in this occasion, it goes like lighter. It's just I'm making it a little bit tighter, and I'll go do the same thing over on this side. So you just get on me. Let me move you this way. Oh, just so you can properly see me moving this other one now. And I basically just move it a little bit slight, and then I just come around the table and I make sure they're even, and it's not uneven. We don't want for one to have more pressure than the other, because then your print comes out uneven. And basically I just rotate it like this. I'll cut it and I'll show you when it's on the other side. Alright, we're already on the other side of this thing. So we're just gonna gently lift it up to see if we applied the right amount of pressure, and to see if we need to roll it up again against the pressure again. So we're just gonna lift it up slowly. And let me, so you can see it with me. Oh, I'm gonna put you down, sorry. And oh, there we go, let it focus. And then we can lift up this gently, and as you can see, it looks like it might needed some ink. It needed a little bit more pressure, which I'm gonna add it, and we're just gonna gently put it down. And we're gonna just gently roll this over. Let me put this down just so I can properly do it. And as you can see, we just slowly put it down. We pat it down if you need to. And I'll adjust these off camera, and I'll show you when it's on the other side. Alright, we're on the other side, and we're going to do the same thing. We just gently get these out, and we just gently put them on top of the machine. And now we move this up, and this is one of the reasons why this a paper on top is to prevent leakage. If you put too much ink, in this case maybe I put too much ink and it got squashed, and in case of bleeding onto the blanket, it bled to the paper, which it won't affect our print when we re-add this again. Now I'm pretty sure it should be done. If not, I'll just reprint it. And we're just gonna slowly, oh, well, actually, this camera, oh, we're gonna slowly, I'm gonna put you over here so you can see it. If not, I'll just redo another print. We just slowly, oh my god. Well, before you remove it, don't commit the same error I just did. You're gonna get your little tabs again, because as you can see, my hands are still full of ink, and I don't know if I'll reactivate it. We're just gonna slowly move it out. Oh, maybe hold down your canvas. Oh no. Alright, let me get another tab. And we're just gonna slowly move it. Oh no. Why did it do that? Oh no. Well, bad example. Maybe it was the type of acrylic I used, but it wasn't supposed to attach to our matrix and rip the paper. So I guess I'll have to redo it again, which it is a little sad. Oh well. Well, I guess I'll keep this in the video to show what not to do, because I'm pretty sure I added too much pressure. That's why this attached to our matrix over there and it just stayed still. And as was to not add too much ink, I thought I had removed ink, but as you can see here, there's clearly a lot of ink, which I'm going to have to reprint, and I'll show you the results for that as well. So yeah, just don't add too much pressure to machine. I did that error here. This is my first time doing it, but yeah, don't add too much pressure or you're gonna end up with this, or too much ink as well. What a shame. It looked like it was coming out good too. Well, except this part, but yeah. And then as you can see, this is our second print and it looks much better. Maybe I was just missing ink over here, as you can see, maybe a little bit over here, but we can see this bird clearly, and maybe this dog does need a little bit more ink, especially around the face. As you can see, the clouds and stuff. And I'm pretty sure by our third or like fifth print in my scenario I'll look better, but however, sometimes in your first print it looks good, sometimes it doesn't. Such as mine, it just ripped too much ink. So remember, don't add too much ink nor too pressure or this could happen. And just try to keep it well defined in ink. I'm not sure. Oh well. So yeah, this is my second print. I'm pretty sure by the third one it'll look better, so I'll have to do that right now.